students, we have already finished continuity and differentiability, where we have discussed some problems on derivative also. But today we will discuss about derivative of composite function, that is application of that chain rule, which we have already discussed. But before discussing about chain rule, let us solve or recall some standard formula of derivative which we have already learned in class 11. So these are some standard formula. First, derivative of x to the power n is this, n into x to the power n minus 1. Derivative of x plus b to the power n is n into x plus b to the power n minus 1. Derivative of a to the power x is e to the power x. Derivative of a to the power x is a to the power x into log a. Here a is greater than 0 and x belongs to r. Okay, then derivative of log ax. Derivative of log ax is 1 by x log a. Here a is greater than 0, comma a is not equal to 1, and x belongs to 0 to infinity. Then number 6, derivative of modulus of x. Derivative of modulus of x is x by mod x. X is not equal to 0. Okay. Then regarding trigonometric function, derivative of sin x, it is cos x. Derivative of cos x is minus sin x. Derivative of tan x, x square x. Derivative of cot x, minus cos x square x. Derivative of sec x, this is sec x into tan x. And derivative of cosec x minus cosec x into cot x. So these are the formulas which we have already learned from class 11. Now, what are the algebra and derivative? This is just a review of your class 11. What algebra of derivative is? Suppose if f and g are two functions, then derivative of f of x plus or minus g of x equal to derivative of f of x plus or minus derivative of g of x. Then derivative of lambda into f of x equal to lambda into derivative of f of x, where lambda is a constant. Okay. And here another thing I forgot here. Alright. Number 13. Derivative of a is equal to, here a is a constant. Then number 3. Derivative of f of x into g of x. It is g of x into derivative of f of x plus f of x into derivative of g of x, and you know that this is called the product rule of derivative. Similarly, d by dx of f of x by g of x is equal to g of x into derivative of f of x minus f of x into derivative of g of x whole divided by square of g of x. Okay, and this is called constant rule of derivative. So these four rule also we have learned. This is called layer of derivative. Now here we will, based on this formula also, now we will discuss about derivative of composite function. Okay. Now derivative of composite function. Now what is composite function? In the first chapter we have already discussed it. Composite function means it is a combination of two or more than two functions. Okay. Then suppose you have if we write y equal to f of g of h. There are three functions are there, f, g and h. So here g, h depends upon x, g depends upon h, and f depends upon g. So this type of function are known as composite. We have already discussed in the first chapter. And to find the derivative of this type of function, we require a special method which is known as the chain rule. Okay. So what is chain rule? So it is a rule to find. Okay. It is a rule to find the derivative of composite function. Now, what is chain rule? Now we will discuss. So suppose here let y equal to f of g of h of x. Then question is what is dy by dx. Now here what will do? Here three functions are there, f, g and h. So here this is first method. Substitution method. And in substitution method, what will do? We solve it from innermost function to outermost function. Here inner to outer. Okay, or right to left we will proceed. So how? Here we will take support left. Here u equal to h of x, innermost function h. So we have denoted it as u. Then v will be equal to g of h of x. G of h of x we have taken as v. But what is h of x? It is u. So you can write it as g of u. So now y It's f of g of h of x. So it is f of. Now what is g of h of x? It is v. So you can write it as f of v. Okay. So dy by dx. Now here you see. Now y is a function of v. Always look the variable inside the bracket is v. So you can write it as dy by dv into, now the denominator is v, so next numerator is also v, so it will be dv by, now what is v? Now you see v is a function of u inside bracket, so it is dv by du into, now the denominator is du, so again next numerator will be du. Now here u is a function of x, so you can write it as du by dx. Now here you see dy by dx is not dy by dv into dv by du into du by dx. So here du will be cancelled, that dv will be cancelled, and it is dy by dx. But don't cancel it. You have to find the value from v. So this is called chain rule. Now you see it is look like a chain. It ends with dv, then again continue with dv. Here it ends with du, next continue with d. So this is called chain rule and substitution method. Now I am going to explain you how will you solve derivative of composite function using chain rule in direct method. Direct method means without doing this one, because it will be time taking. Supposing one you are appearing in entrance examination and on composite function derivative you have to find. Now if you use this substitution method there, then you will not be able to make up your time management. So what is the other method? That is method 2. This is called direct method. In direct method, it is left to right. Okay, we will proceed from left to right, or outermost function to innermost function, or outer to inner function. So here we given y equal to f of g of h of x. So this implies dy by dx. First you will write whole, that is derivative of f of g of h of x with respect to. You first leave the first function, outermost function. So f will be deleted, so remaining is g of h of x. Then same way, next numerator will be this, so derivative of g of h of x by, again your first function is g, so we write derivative of h of x into, again it is derivative of h of x. Now your outermost is h, what is remaining? Only x. So now again use something. So now we can write it as f dash of g of h of x, because derivative of f of x is f dash of x. So derivative of f of g of h of x, outermost function f dash of this, into, it can be written as g dash of h of x into, it is h dash of x. So in this way also you can find derivative of composite function using chain. One easy example I am giving. Okay, you can y. Okay, y then what is dy by dx? So here first substitution method I am using. In substitution here two functions are there. One is trigonometry, another is algebraic x cube. Here we can write that t equal to x cube. Okay, t is x cube. So y will be sin x cube. That means x cube is t, y is sin t. Hence dy by dx is dy. Now y is a function of t. So always look for this. So dt, and t is a function of x, dt by dx. So dy by dt means d by dt of y value is sin t into dt by dx. So d by dx of x cube. So it is derivative of sin t. Standard formula, it is cos t into, it is in the form of x to the power n into x to the power n minus 1, so it is 3 x square. Now again we will replace t with its original value. So it is 3 x square into cos t is x cube. This is substitution. Or direct method. In direct method what we will do? Here dy by dx. Okay. So first you will write whole. Why is this sin x cube? With respect to your outermost function is sin. So you write only x cube into the derivative of x cube with respect to x only. Now here it is in, suppose x cube is theta, so it is the form of derivative of sin theta with respect to theta, that is cos theta. So directly you will get cos x cube into derivative of x cube with respect to x is 3x square, and again you will get same answer 3x square cos x cube. Okay, so whichever method will be easier for you, you can use that method either substitution or direct. Okay, so now let us solve few questions from your exercise 5.2. The questions are differentiate the following function with respect to x. Question number 1. Here suppose y is given sin x square plus 5. It is a composite function, but two functions are there. One is trigonometry, another is algebraic. So here you can write like u equal to x square plus 5 and y equal to sin x square plus 5, that is sin u. So dy by dx is dy by du into du by dx. So d by du of sin u into d by dx of x square plus 5. So derivative of sin u is cos u into, now it is derivative of x square plus derivative of 5 by algebra of derivative. So it is cos u value is x square plus 5 into derivative of x square is 2x and derivative of constant is 0. So answer is 2x cos x square plus 5. So these are the steps if you use substitution method. But if you will use direct method, then what you will write? Derivative of sin x square plus 5 with respect to x square plus 5 into derivative of x square plus 5 with respect to x, and in 2 steps only you will get the answer. Then question number 4. Question number 4 is here sec tan root x equals y. Sec tan root x. How many functions are there? Here 3, 1, 2, 3. But actually there are 4 functions are there. 2 trigonometric, 2 algebraic. One algebraic is its x, another is its power. So here first we write like u is equal to root x, that is x to the power 1 by 2. So v equal to tan root x. So tan root x is here I am writing directly because you have already explained tan, and y is equal to sec v, because sec of tan root x is from tan. So dy by dx, that is dy by dv. V is a function of u, dv by du, and u is a function of x, u by dx. That is d by dv of what? Y is sec v into d by du of v is tan u into d by dx of x to the power 1 by 2. So standard formula derivative of sec is sec into tan, so sec v into tan v. Now derivative of tan is sec square, so it is sec square u into, here it is 1 by 2 into x to the power half minus 1 by 2. So this is sec v. Now v is x to the power 1 by 2. So it is sec root x into tan root x. Sorry. Here it is v is tan. Sec v is tan u into tan u into sec square u is root x into 1 by 2 root x. That is sec tan root x into tan root x into sec square root x into 1 by 2 root x. Okay. So it is here students sometimes commit mistake here, they cancel root x, but be careful that it is with trigonometric function side, and this is only 2 root x. So this is the solution of question number 4. Then number here 6 number into sin square x to the power 5. Now here it is y is product of 2 functions. So here we will use product rule. Here I am solving it by direct method, not by substitution, because already we have discussed 2-3 problems on substitution. So here you can write dy by dx. So first it is d by dx of first function into second function plus it is first function into derivative of second function. This is by product rule. Now this equal to, now it is what? Derivative of cos x cube with respect to x cube. First you remove the outer portion into derivative of x cube with respect to x, this one, into this sin square x to the power 5 plus this cos x cube into, again here first derivative of whole sin square x to the power 5, but here it will be sin x to the power 5 because your outermost function is power, into derivative of sin x to the power 5 with respect to x to the power 5 into derivative of x to the power 5 with respect to x. Now it is in the form of derivative of cos theta with respect to theta. Derivative of cos theta is minus sin theta, so it is minus sin x cube into, it is 3x square into sin square x to the power 5 plus it is cos x cube into, it is again, if you take sin x to the power 5 as a, then it is the form of derivative of a square with respect to a 2a, so it is 2 sin x to the power 5 into, it is sin theta with respect to theta cos x to the power 5 into, last is 5 x to the power 4. So this is how much? It is 2 5 ja 10. Okay, 10 x to the power 4, okay, into cos x cube into cos x to the power 5 into sin x to the power 5, okay, minus this one 3x square to sin x cube into sin square x to the power 5. So this is the answer of question number 6. Here, question number 9 is, prove that the function f given by f of x equal to modulus of x minus 1 x belongs to R is not differentiable at x equal to 1. Here f of x, this is given mod x minus 1 x belongs to R. We prove that it is not differentiable at x equal to 1. And you know that for differentiability we require left hand derivative or right hand derivative at x equal to 1. So here first f of x, it is modulus of x minus 1. So by modulus function it will be x minus 1 if x minus 1 is greater than equal to 0, that is x is greater than equal to 1, and this is minus of x minus 1 if x minus 1 is less than 0, that is x is less than 1. So this is the two values of this function. Now L f dash of 1. So L f dash 1 means limit x tends to 1 minus, it is f of x minus f of 1 by x minus 1. Now it is limit x tends to 1 minus f of x is mod x minus 1 minus f of 1 is, f of 1 is how much? 1 minus 1 0 by x minus 1. This is limit x tends to 1 minus mod x minus 1 by x minus 1. So it is limit x tends to 1 minus, when x is less than 1, you see modulus of x minus 1 value is minus of x minus 1. So you can write minus of x minus 1 by x minus 1, that is minus 1. Similarly R f dash of 1, the limit x tends to 1 plus f of x minus f of 1 by x minus 1, that is limit x tends to 1 plus, again modulus of x minus 1 minus 0 by x minus 1, that is limit x tends to 1 plus mod x minus 1 by x minus 1, and for greater than equal to 1 plus mod x minus 1 is this x minus 1, so it is limit x tends to 1 plus x minus 1 by x minus 1 is equal to 1. Now here you see that both left hand and right hand derivative exist, but they are not equal. So you can write, since L f dash of 1 is not equal to R f dash of 1, so f of x is not differentiable at x equal to 1. Okay. The greatest integer function defined by f of x equal to bracketed x. Your condition is given 0 is less than x is less than 3 is not differentiable at x equal to 1 and x equal to 2. Okay. That is given f of x equal to bracketed x. Here 0 is less than x is less than 3 means 0 and 3 are not included. So whatever the value, because latest integer function you know that range is always an integer and domain is real number, any value you can take, and here it is 0 to 3 open means it lies, so 1 and 2 are coming under this interval. Then we have to prove that it is not differentiable at 1 and 2. So first be at x equal to 1. Once again I am reminding you the definition of greatest integer function. Your greatest integer function, this is always less than or equal to x. You know, because if it is 0, greatest integer function is 0. If it is 0.3, it is 0. But if it is minus 0.3, it is minus 1. If it is integer, value is same. If it is positive integer, value is same. If it is negative integer, value is same. If it is not an integer, positive, then we will ignore the decimal part and write the integer part. And if it is a negative non-integer like this, then we remove the decimal part and subtract 1 from the integer part. Means if it is minus 3.7, then it will be minus 4. You will remove integer part and subtract 1 from this. So at x equal to 1, we have L f dash of 1. Okay. So L f dash of 1, so it is limit x tends to 1 minus left hand. It is bracketed x, or formula first I am writing. It is f of x minus f of 1 by x minus 1. It is limit x tends to 1 minus. It is f of x is bracketed x minus f of 1 bracketed 1 by x minus 1. So this equal to limit x tends to 1 minus. 1 minus means what? Less than 1. So less than 1 means it is in this form 0 point something, and for 0 point something you see bracketed it is 0. You can write it as 0 minus 1 by x minus 1. Okay. So this is limit x tends to 1 minus, it is minus 1 by x minus 1. Now if we use the substitution method, you can write limit x tends to 0, it is minus 1 by, in place of x we write 1 minus x minus 1. Okay, here putting what? X equal to 1 minus x, such that x tends to 0 when x tends to 1. So it is limit x tends to 0. It is minus 1 by minus x, and this is what is the answer? Does not exist because 1 by x tends to 0. Left hand derivative does not exist. Okay, and similarly your right hand derivative are f dash of 1. That is limit x tends to 1 plus f of x minus f of 1 by x minus 1. So it is limit x tends to 1 plus bracketed x minus, again it is f of 1 will be 1 by x minus 1. Okay, so this is here 1 plus means 1 point something. 1 point something means value will be 1. So it is limit x tends to 1 plus, it is 1 minus 1 by x minus 1. Now numerator is 0 means this value is 0. So the left hand derivative does not exist, but right hand derivative is 0. So both are different. That means, so I L f dash of 1 and R f dash of 1 are not equal. So f of x equal to bracketed x is not differentiable at x equal to 1. Then second bit you will try yourself. This is homework for at x equal to 2. So these are the problems from exercise 5.2. You see the video, practice it, and the remaining 4-5 questions of exercise 5.2. You try to solve yourself, and if any doubt will be there, I will clarify. Okay, in the next class we will discuss about implicit function. So thank you.